Okay. So welcome everyone to this third session of our Danube and Black Sea Lighthouse community of practice. It's great to see you all here. And a special welcome also to today's speakers, today's experts who are already here with us, to Nadia Schlichenmeier and Philip Jurich, who are representing EcoDaLLi in this meeting today, as well as Mihai Christian Adamescu representing Restore for Life, our sister project. It's good to have you here. For those who don't know me yet and are new in this community, and for those whose first session this is, my name is Miriam. I'm working for Steinbeis Europazentrum, which is a business support organization from Germany and one of the project partners in Danube-Black. I hope you all received the agenda also already via email. After a short presentation by myself that aims to set this session a little bit in the context, we will have two expert sessions, as already mentioned, focusing on the one hand on the EU mission Restore Our Oceans and Waters and the framework that comes with it, as well as the EcoDaLLi project. And then our sister project, Restore for Life, that's also focusing on wetland restoration, just as Danube-Black is. And we will, of course, also have a slot for working together and trying to match challenges with solutions in wetland restoration, and time for discussion in the end. But I will start with a short introduction and short recap of what we are doing here, especially for the new colleagues in this meeting. So the ultimate goal is to deploy and upscale innovations in wetland restoration. And we hope that this will be beneficial not only for the environment, of course, but also for the local communities, socially and economically. And to achieve that, we are building this community of practice that promotes cooperation among diverse stakeholders and also between various governance levels, and especially the local and European level, to then be able to implement the solutions. For that, we have bi-monthly meetings every second Friday of a month. We started in October, and this is now our third session. We have a joint working space on Mural, which is a digital whiteboard, and we will work with it a little bit later. We are also currently creating a space for resources on the website. And these resources are also shared via email. And you can, of course, also reach out to me anytime via email. We had two sessions so far, with the first one presenting in detail our Danube-Black project, our demos, and the solutions we are working on. And the second session, publicly welcoming our associated regions, that presented also their region on the one hand and the challenges they face in wetland restoration. And as you can see, these recordings are available on YouTube. So for those of you who joined this community later but are still interested in these topics, you can rewatch the sessions. I hope that all of you know it already, but just to say, this community is part of the Danube-Black project. We have a budget of a little bit over 9 million in total, with 46 partners from 12 countries. And in general, we follow a holistic approach to wetland restoration, which means that we do not only focus on technical aspects, but also ecological aspects and economic factors. Because in the end, it's of course best if the technical solutions we produce are good for our environment, but are profitable at the same time. But still in the center are, of course, our site-specific demonstration or restoration actions. And we have 3 demo sites in 3 countries, in Croatia, Bulgaria, and Romania. Just to mention it shortly, our demo in the Middle Danube includes wetlands that are protected and classified as crucial areas for preserving wild species and their habitats. And one of the innovations the demo partners are working on is a green hatchery that's built to increase the ecosystem's resilience and biodiversity. In the lower Danube, the main location is the Kalimov Russian protected area, which was...
I lost you, Miriam. I don't know if...
Yeah, we lost you.
We can hear you.
Oh.
Now you're moving and you are talking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. Don't know what happened there, but glad that you can hear me. I was just talking about our demo in the lower Danube area, which was historically used for fishing, but is unfortunately largely drained, with only few wetlands preserved. And the demo partners there are linking isolated floodplains using automated operation of locks integrated with a monitoring system, but they are also, for example, piloting a pontoon power generator for renewable energy. And our 3rd demo site is located in the Danube Delta at a lake that hosts rare bird species, but is unfortunately also drying, which leads to habitat loss. And the restoration strategy includes, for example, reconnecting the lake to the surface aquifer and improving water circulation. But the demo's also working on recirculating aquaculture systems for fish and farming solutions. I just wanted to shortly mention it. As I said, we had a first session that had a look at these demo sites in more detail, and where really the expert project partners presented them. So if you are interested, you can rewatch it on YouTube. But I would say enough from me. Let's move to our first expert session. As you can see also in the corner of this presentation, David Rest is part of the mission Restore Our Oceans and Waters. And to get an idea what this means, we have invited Nadja Schlichenmeier, the coordinator of the EcoDaLLi project, who will present this larger framework and the EcoDaLLi project, and also Philip, who will give us some more insights on the first EcoDaLLi results. So I'm very happy to have both of you here. And please feel free to share the screen yourself.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I'm very happy to be here today. I have to apologize for my voice. I have a little bit of a cold. I hope you guys can understand me anyhow. So let me quickly share my screen. I hope you can see my slides.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so hello everyone. As Miriam already introduced me, my name is Nadia. I'm the coordinator of the EcoDaLLi project, and I have been asked here today to introduce you to the larger framework of the mission Restore Our Oceans and Waters, the Danube-Black Lighthouse, and kind of the role that EcoDaLLi and all of the innovation action projects, such as David Rest and Restore for Life, play in this larger framework. I know that many of you might have heard about this before, but I think it bears repetition, since this whole framework is really very important for all of our projects. And it is, of course, also sometimes a little bit complicated to understand, as so many different projects and initiatives are here coming together to work on one common goal. So let me start very much at the beginning. what are Horizon Europe missions and why do we have Horizon Europe missions? So basically the missions were created to tackle some of the biggest challenges that the European Union and the larger world is currently facing. We have 5 of these missions. So we have a mission which deals with the adaptation to climate change, a mission that is working on fighting cancer, a mission working on the development of climate neutral and smart cities, the mission Soil Deal for Europe, which works on the restoration of our soils, and of course, the mission that we are part of, the mission Restore Our Oceans and Waters. As you can see, these are like very big challenges that really face all of us in all of the different countries that we have within the European Union. And now each of these missions is designed to basically act as a portfolio of actions that come together and are supposed to achieve a measurable goal, such as, for in our example, restoring the oceans and waters. So we have here research projects such as David Rest and Restore for Life. We have coordination and support action projects such as EcoDaLLi, but we also have policy measures and legislative initiatives, and all of this comes together in these missions. And they were designed to contribute to the larger goals of the European Green Deal and the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, how does the mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters, or more commonly referred to as the mission Ocean and Waters, or even shorter, the mission Ocean, really do? It has set itself the target to protect and restore the health of all of our ocean and waters by 2030. And it sets out to do that through research and innovation, but not only through research and innovation, also through citizen engagement, through blue investments, through interacting also with innovators and industry in all of the countries. There are also a lot of cross-cutting enabling actions, such as the digital twin of the ocean. There are broad publicity mobilizations and initiatives. So really, we play a major role here as research and innovation projects, but there is a whole larger framework dedicated to supporting us in reaching these goals. To really support regional engagement, the mission has area-based lighthouses in the major sea and river basins within the European Union. So we have a lighthouse for the Atlantic and Arctic, for the Mediterranean, for the Baltic and North Sea, and of course for the Danube River and the Black Sea, which is the area that we are working in and the lighthouse that all of our projects belong to. Now, one of the tools that are here to support the mission Ocean that you, I'm sure, have heard about a lot is and that's actually often causing a bit of confusion, is the so-called mission charter. Now, the mission charter is a very big framework that was created, and it is meant as a mobilization tool on the one hand, so to really mobilize stakeholders and organizations to work together and achieve a critical mass of actions for the really transformational change in all of the union that we need to really restore our oceans and waters. But on the other hand, it is also a tool for tracking the impact of the mission on the ground and seeing how well it progresses. So basically what the mission charter does, any organization that has an activity that contributes to the mission objective can register this activity with the mission charter and really showcase this activity here. So you can see here currently the mission charter contains 828 actions, and 117 of those are currently belong to the Danube and Black Sea basin. We also have 180 cross-basin actions, so many of those will also be working within our basin. And the goal here is, on the one hand, of course, to show how much is actually already being done within the mission, to strengthen the position of the mission with the parliament. And on the other hand, each organization that has an action in the charter is automatically part of the whole Mission Ocean framework. So they are invited to participate in events such as the European Ocean Days, now coming up in the first week of March. Also, they can access services and tools and best practices from projects that are currently working within the mission, and also from the mission implementation platform. And they are invited to participate in networking with other communities. And they, of course, get also a lot of visibility for their activities here. Yeah, so it's really easy in this way to engage with the Mission Ocean, and I would really like to encourage all of you to consider pledging actions within the charter. You can really pledge any kind of action here. This doesn't have to be a research project. It can also be a citizen engagement activity. It's really easy to do. It takes kind of 10 to 15 minutes. You just have to fill in a questionnaire. If you're interested to do that, you can either follow this QR code or, of course, also always reach out to EcoDaLLi, and we will provide you with support here. So coming back to the lighthouse areas, so as I already told you, there are currently 4 lighthouse areas. There is the Baltic and North Sea area, in the Mediterranean, the Atlantic and Arctic, and the Danube and Black Sea lighthouses. And in each of these areas, several projects come together and test different solutions, which are supposed to be scaled up and also transferred to the other basins in the second phase of the mission. Each of these lighthouses has been given a specific objective within the Mission Ocean. So the Mediterranean, for example, is focusing on preventing and eliminating pollution, while the Baltic and North Sea is more focusing on the blue economy and to make it carbon neutral and circular. While we are focusing on protecting and restoring the ecosystems and biodiversity, specifically in the Danube and Black Sea River Basin, the Danube River and the Black Sea Basin. And we share this objective with the Atlantic and Arctic Basin, who are, of course, focusing more on marine ecosystems and biodiversity. And so we can here exchange a lot with this lighthouse. So this is a kind of very simplified overview of how the cooperation between these projects works. So we have the larger EU mission, Restore Our Oceans and Waters, with 4 lighthouses. Each of the lighthouses has a coordination and support action. So in the case of the Danube and Black Sea lighthouse, this is EcoDaLLi. And then each of these lighthouses has several innovation action projects, which are working within the lighthouse to really test and deploy solutions. Currently in the Danube and Black Sea lighthouse, we have 7 innovation action projects. Among them, David Rest and Restore for Life. And we have just been joined in January by our 7th innovation action dancer. Our projects kind of all work towards the objective of protecting and restoring ecosystems and biodiversity. And they all have a bit of a different focus. So some focus more on freshwater, some focus more on wetlands, some focus more on sediments. But in general, we are all working together towards one common objective. And as the coordination and support action, we are, of course, not really testing or deploying any solutions on the ground. Our role is more in acting as a hub for stakeholder engagement, ensuring effective governance structures by creating synergies with all of the national, regional, local, and European initiatives and projects that we have within our basin, to work very closely with the Mission Secretariat and SINEA and make sure that this whole cooperation within the mission is successful, to support the uptake of the charter, and of course to help coordinate and support the innovation action projects. So for example, we are coordinating the quarterly newsletter in which all of the lighthouse projects come together and communicate their events and results. Currently, this has 423 subscribers, and I would like to invite course, everyone among you who hasn't done so yet to subscribe to this newsletter. It's the easiest resource to stay informed about all the activities that are going on in the Lighthouse. Now, very quickly, an overview of what we are doing within EcoDaLLi. So EcoDaLLi, as an acronym, stands for Ecosystem-Based Governance with Danube Lighthouse Living Labs for Sustainable Innovation Processes. The project is running till June 2026. So still lots of opportunities to work together. We have 17 partners and 1 associated partners from 11 different countries, most of them based in the Danube River Basin, but also a few outside of the Danube River Basin, for example, in France and Georgia. We work mostly in 4 main pillars. So we have 1 pillar really focused on nature-based solutions and providing here a systemic approach for people interested in employing nature-based solutions within the Danube River Basin. We have a strong focus on the innovation ecosystem within the Danube River Basin, providing trainings for innovators and developing guidelines for innovation transfer and upscaling. We have a very strong focus on communication, so creating bridges between all of the different projects and existing networks and structures that we have within the Danube River Basin. And very importantly, we focus a lot on cross-fertilization of existing tools, activities, best practices, innovations that are being created. And we want to really be a platform where people can come together and exchange these ideas and hopefully transfer them and use them and learn from each other. To do this, we are depending on our living labs, which are basically a concept for co-designing different solutions. We very much focus here on co-creative exercises, on collaboration between different stakeholders on different levels, using different methodologies to encourage the exchange of ideas and people learning from each other. We have 4 main living labs divided by topics. So our living labs focus on biodiversity, on water systems, on climate change, and of course on the innovation ecosystem within the Danube River. So basically, what our project is doing, we work in kind of 3 phases. We are currently transitioning into the 3rd phase of our project. So we basically started out with a very detailed mapping of the current status of our basin, identifying all relevant stakeholders and launching our living labs. To do this, we did several peer-to-peer exchange workshops in the different areas of the river basin to really learn from the stakeholders on the ground, like what are their needs, what are the barriers that they are facing, what issues need to be addressed in order to effectively restore the Danube River Basin. In the 2nd phase, we really deployed our living labs. We engaged with all of these stakeholders, ongoing projects and institutions in designing a roadmap for the restoration of our basin. And we will now be following up on the identified actions, developing our Danube Innovation Strategic Action Plan, and really developing targeted trainings for the innovators that we have within our basin. Very importantly, we have recently launched our EcoDaLLi portal, which is really a space for stakeholders to come together to discuss and access all of our results. And my colleague Philip Juric will now go forward on introduce you to the portal and to the content that we have on the portal. So this was it from my side. Thank you very much for your patience. If you have any questions, I see your raised hand. I would be happy to answer them.
Just one question before Philip starts about the strategic action plan. In which phases is this? And can we get some input from this action plan, because we want to use it in our strategy that we are developing within Middle Danube demonstrator. So it will be good to find the synergy and to use this document for the future planned actions based on innovation. Thank you.
Yeah. So our strategic action plan is in the development phase. I mean, we can, of course, exchange on that and see if you can already benefit. We are also currently finalizing our roadmap, which we will be launching also at the European Ocean Days as a graphical version, so we can definitely share that. I think also the steps in there could be relevant for the development of your action plan, and we would be happy if the other projects take up the work that we have done here. Thank you, guys. If there aren't any other questions, I'll be stop sharing and hand over to Philip.
Get well soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you see also my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, super. Thanks. So first of all, my name is Filip Juric and I'm from University of Zagreb from Croatia. At the start, I wish you happy Valentine's Day. And if this meeting were a date, I promise I have brought flowers, but instead I brought this presentation. So let's dive. So my presentation is demonstration of the EcoDaLLi portal. As Nadia said, so it is launched, the first version. I will first give some introduction or more or less go through everything what Nadia said, but just summarize everything. And then I will have the live demonstration of the portal. So EcoDaLLi portal serves as a primary communication and dissemination tool, or as a central knowledge hub, as it's called. And also it should integrate all the results from our work packages, especially work package 2, work package 3, 4, 5, and 6. It is also somehow structured or organized according to those work packages, which deals mostly with 4 pillars, how we say it, which are the governance, business, academia, and citizens. And also we have some multi-user access system. So also for those which are interested, we can make their access to the portal with as a different user, so they can be contributors or stakeholders, not just the public users. Also, here is a link and QR code. So during also my presentation, you can look it, but I will, as I said, prepare the live demonstration. Also, some features of the portal that it has multilingual support. So the ongoing translation from the partner languages, I think there is 11 languages, which are partner of, which are the countries of the partners from EcoDaLLi project. And also it will have some real-time updates on the NBS methodologies, on innovation tools, and on all policy frameworks. Regarding some interactive features and engagements, it will be also included in the portal. So there will be some citizen science applications, discussion forum, polls, newsletters, and also some catalog for the stakeholder engagement. Regarding the connection with the other portals and the platforms, so the main is that we have a connection with the mission implementation portal, Prepare for Blue, and the other CSI innovation projects, but also with the other initiatives. So those initiatives are already listed, but the main are those which are included in the mission ocean and innovation actions, but also digital twin ocean and water. And the whole integration of these initiatives has an aim to contribute or to be as a showcase for the contribution to the restoration, protection, and governance framework in the Danube River Basin. So yeah, I will now start with showing of the portal. As I said, here is the QR code, so you can also look it on the mobile phone, or on your PCs, laptops. So basically, it is it looks like on a dashboard. So as it's here said, so the dashboard is like this homepage where there are some typical inputs or some information that are maybe interested to you, just that you are aware what is EcoDaLLi doing and what are the key features of the EcoDaLLi portal. Also, you can have some infographics here and so on. But as I said, it is in multilingual. So you have, as I said, I think 11 languages. So most of the content will be translated. First, I will go through the first part, which is regarding the community and which will probably be the most interested to you. So we have the discussion part, which is something similar to the Reddit for those who are using it. So you can post some new post here or some new information, or if you have something regarding the calls or so on. And you can also read, like, and based on those likes, your post will be put at the top of discussion topic. Also, you have some initiatives parts. So here are listed all the initiatives. You can read something more about them or find the link and so on. So you can go through that. Also, we have section for the polls. For now, we have only PLLS survey. I will later talk about that and also show it to you. And also we have a catalog for the stakeholder engagement. So all the things that will be implemented in this project for the stakeholder engagement are listed here. So you can also read about them. And then the main part are the results. So as I said, they are somehow divided in work packages parts. So the work package 2 is related with the NBS methodology or NBS solution. So we have two features here. One is like information or definition of the natural-based solutions. So you can find some here, the purpose, definition, key characteristic, methodologies, and also some key goals and some features. Also, there is an active NBS flowchart. So if you want to start an NBS project, there are some steps. So identification of the problem. If there is a need restoration, you can press on the button to see some more explanation of each step. And then there is also, for instance, some questions. So if it's accepted, then you go on the next step in the flowchart. Also, for the work package 2, we have the natural based solution catalog. The update of this catalog will be soon, but you can see also for now the current natural based solutions. So we have for currently 8, but we will increase them. So you can see some photos, some info, also some figures, for instance, like does they implement the water management, that they implement the water quality and so on, and also about project summary, replication, participation, lesson learned, and so on. And you can, as I said, you can go through all of them. So that's more or less regarding the work package 2, which was basically doing with natural-based solutions. So we have for the work package 3, stakeholder mapping tool. So you can also, if you are stakeholder which are not listed here, so please please contact this email address. Also, you can find something about identification of the stakeholders and all the methodology and the current database. And here is also the mapping tool with filters. So we have filters for the region. So if they are specific for the Middle Danube, Upper Danube, Lower Danube, Danube Delta, or transversal, also for the target group. So are they from the business, civil, society, governance, research, and so on. So there are also the other filters, and how we are pressing on the filters. So then you are getting just those stakeholders which are relevant for that. For instance, if you press on that mark point, you can get some information or some basic information, and then pressing on this small I button, you can also get some more data. Also, when you apply all those filters, there is a table at the bottom, so it is also applied on those in the table on those stakeholders. You can see here that they are listed, so you can copy them and you can press on it. It opens their website, and also there is an info button where you can find even more about those stakeholders. We are having also 3 tools which are upcoming. So innovative ecosystem-based practices, we already have the first iteration, but I will not show it today. Maybe on some future community of practice meetings, and then we'll have also EcoDaLLi local panel and share vision for spatial policies. Regarding the work package 4, which is mostly doing with practice living lab systems. So whole concept and idea, key features, you can find it here. Also, you can find more information in the milestone. And then as I said, there is currently active PLLS survey. If I'm correct, it is only it is only citizen survey. For now, it is in German, English, and Croatian, but we will soon translate it also in the other languages, so you can reach it. So please fill it if you are interested in concept of practice living lab systems. Also, we have this interactive 8 pillars framework. There are 8 pillars of PLLS concepts, which are policy, governance, and so on. And pressing on each, you can also get some additional data. Also, the last one is the work package 5. This part is also ongoing, so we will update it with more information, but currently it's a catalog of business innovations. So they are listed here. You can also filter them by country or by type, or are they providing funding and are they supporting the innovation? And also similar, you can, for instance, for there is no information, but you can see all the business innovations. Then we go to the repository part, where we have the deliverables, some draft deliverables. We have the milestones which you can see, which are finished, and also some useful documents. Currently, there is an overview of the methodology for the NBS assessment because the deliverable is quite comprehensive. Regarding collaboration, that is something which is currently in the stage that we have just the links to the emission implementation portal and digital twin ocean, but we are now really working on how to implement everything to be somehow integrated with the other CSI portals and also with the mission implementation portal. At the bottom, you have some newsletter section and also about the privacy policy and contact, where you can contact me if you have something that you would like to discuss regarding the portal. Also, as I said, here is currently we have this survey which is active, so you can find here a link, you can find QR code, and please fill it if you are interested in PLLS. To conclude, so we will use, as I said, as a main communication tool, this EcoDaLLi portal. So if you want to stay informed and connected, so and if you want to see and have an access to the latest research, our policy recommendation and innovation solutions, so please, you will be benefit if you register to the portal. Also, if you want to engage and collaborate with the others, so if you want to discuss in forums, or if you want to participate in surveys and in some citizen science initiatives, or if you want to connect to some stakeholders, so you can use this portal. Also, it is there is some data, especially regarding the natural-based solution, and also you can use some information that can benefit you in the future for the customized resources, for the funding opportunities, or for some expert knowledge. And also, the whole idea is that if you registered, or if you're a user of the portal, that you will be part of a larger EU mission, which is, as you know, Mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters. And also you can, with discussions and everything, you can help in shaping the sustainable policies for innovative governance frameworks, especially in the Danube and the Black Sea regions. So as I put it here, so register today and become part of collaborative network driving sustainable change. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Philip, and also Nadia, to both of you for this presentation, and especially also for the live demonstration of the EcoDaLLi portal. Are there any questions to Philip?
Yes, one question from my side, Vlatko from Secom. It would be possible to join somehow these different portals from different projects. For example, we have 4 of them under the Danube Lighthouse, so that they are somehow connected. I am just discussing with my colleague Ivica Pavičić from Zagreb, from University of Zagreb, and we are trying to find the connection between these all portals. It will be good to have everything in one place. Would it be possible to? Is this allowed to do like this?
So I assume that you aim for the Davet REST portal. Yeah, the good thing is that I am in charge also, or the University of Zagreb is in charge for the Davet REST portal. The thing is, EcoDaLLi portal, I will definitely put somehow separate. So because it is coordination and support action, and its aims are much more on the communication engagement and on this side. Regarding the Davet REST portal, it will be much more specific. So it will have real-time monitoring and much more complex. So it will be more, as I said, so I would say on EcoDaLLi, we will definitely have some parts which will be connected to the Davet REST portal. But as I said, I would rather somehow put Davet REST as a separate portal, because it will have much more complex features, which will need to be implemented. So, and somehow to divide this part, which is not so maybe for the average user or someone who is interested in the mission ocean, not so important. So it's much more specific for some researchers or for some engineers and so on. I see Bojan raised the hand, so.
Yes, this is Bojan from the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences from Davet REST. Philip, I understand what you're just saying, but I would go a little bit further with what Zlatko said, and not just about the Davet REST project, but the other projects also, all projects, in fact, that the EcoDaLLi is coordinating. This has to be indicated somewhere, somehow, and at least links, at the very, very least, things. Otherwise, I understand the reason for the EcoDaLLi, and coordination and cross-fertilization is the most important goal there, but without a doubt. But it has to become a little bit clearer than from what I'm seeing at this point. What are the projects that EcoDaLLi is coordinating, and so that's one thing. Another thing, which is just a proposal, I would like in the pillars, probably second or third slide of yours, in the pillars part, I would probably like to see a 5th pillar, which will deal with NGOs and civil action and citizen action, etc. Organizations, NGOs as a 5th pillar. They play a big part in all of our projects, and the NGOs play a big part also. I think that would be a contribution of a kind. Then there are other things that are more a discussion that we have to also discuss within our project, probably more than, but maybe in some of the others. Nature-based solutions are great, and we of course rely on nature for our solutions, and we should more and more, particularly in the lower Danube and the Danube Delta, but also in the other parts of the Danube. I see also a big place for societies-based solutions. We have distinct societies in many of those places that are related and certainly determined by nature, but they come up and cannot come up with local solutions, meaning from
no toque
the
el teléfono que se me desconecta. No.
societies. I mean, so maybe we have to. I don't see how that really has. I don't insist that this is reflected in the platform. It's just something that we have also to think about in addition to the nature-based solutions, I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. So first, yeah, thank you maybe for your question, because now I understood better the Zlatko's questions. So I agree. We should definitely have some dedicated section for innovation actions in the portal. So we can work on that. So yeah, as I said, we will work on that, and maybe we can contact also all the innovation actions and to talk about that. Regarding the pillars, to be honest, this figure is somehow adaptation from the grant agreement. So I agree, the NGOs should be there, but it's not on not on me to decide. And the third,
it's a contribution. It could be a contribution.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And regarding the NBS, I'm probably not. Probably there's someone else who is more experienced in that. But yeah, to be honest, it's better ask someone who was dealing with those
Thank you.
results.
It's just a comment. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. Christian Mihai.
Hi. We have, I mean, all the projects have this development of the platforms, all the lighthouses. And this is not necessarily a big problem, but it's I think it could be a big advantage for us, because there are different ideas in different projects, and perhaps we can build something that can last. Because one of the things is that we have projects, and then the platform is dying because no more interest and things like that. So I have a proposal, because it's something that we can do together. I mean, we have the budget. We are developing these platforms. I know, for example, that so you have in DAWA Rests, we have it also in Restore for Life. I know other projects, like, for example, Restore for Carbon, which is a project in Portugal that is developing this also for wetlands. So I think it's an amazing opportunity for us to come together and figure out how to build a platform that can last even after the project ends. And we have done a little bit of, let's say, discussions to some research infrastructure, so big infrastructure that are that will last for many, many years, hopefully, depending on and the idea is that we will develop the platform. I mean, we in different parts, reaching our objectives as projects, but then we need to find out how we can merge essential parts of the platforms together in such a way that can be then transferred and for the goods of the restoration in the Danube, for example, but for others as well. So I think it's a need to have discussions between you, Philip, people from Restore for Carbon, people from Restore for Life, to have a joint meeting, and I will write you an email with an invitation. I already did this for Restore for Carbon. I will invite you also to this talk, and then we will start bringing the communities together in order to build this kind of long-lasting platform. I think this is something that we can do together. So thank you.
Thank you, Christian. Hi. So I really appreciate that, and I would like to participate in it. So from EcoDaLLi and DAWET side, to join the forces from those portals and somehow to see the sustainability after the end of the project. So
Okay, then we have one last question
sorry.
from Primoz, I think.
Yes, thanks Miriam, thanks Philip, thanks Christian. I think it's a great initiative, and just to add that, please engage me in this debate if possible. I think you have my contact. I'm representative here as Danube for All project, but actually we are just starting a common initiative for a common durable community, because we also promised this in some other projects that we're engaged, not only Horizon, also Interreg, Erasmus projects. So there is a lot of different stories, and for stakeholders, actually, they don't care if it's a Horizon, if it's Erasmus, if it's Interreg, they care about challenges. And I think it's extremely important to start discussing this together and see what the most effective options are, having in mind of course, our stories, our challenges, the things we need to deliver as a project, but especially stakeholders, because these platforms are meant for them to be used and to last also after the project end. So yeah, thanks for inviting me in this meeting, if it will happen in the next future. Thanks a lot.
And Philip, if somebody else from the DAWET needs to be there also, I can also join you if needed. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Primoz. Thank you, Bojan. Yeah, I see Florian raise the hand. So
yes, thank you, Philip. Let's say a kind of comment and suggestion. At this moment, there is a kind of movement at European level to build a digital twin ocean, and another direction is to link DAWET and platform and other platforms to this initiative, because at the end, in my opinion, will be a single, unique, uniform, and integrated platform at European level. And they have sometimes meetings at European level to align different platforms and to discuss about data and these kind of things. Thank you.
thank you, Florian. Yeah, I agree. I was on one meeting, but I agree. We should maybe somehow after this meeting with Restore for Life and Danube for All, maybe we can somehow with the joint force tackle that. Bojan, you raised the hand once again.
Well, I did. I'm sorry. Just very quickly, there is a digital twin Black Sea also within the project going on that I know, and we definitely need to think about digital Danube for sure, and we can start that actually under your Philip guidance or somebody that's more knowledgeable than I am on. We can start that within the living labs on one hand, and or the demonstrators that we have. Just digital twin demonstrator, even if we create one of them, despite the fact that it's not in the grant agreement or anything, or just as a suggestion even, or first steps, that would be another contribution, I think, for the European Union itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernd. So just one question regarding the Black Sea digital twin. So is it already online, or is it active, or is it just in the initial stage?
It is in development stage, as far as I know. Okay. It is. I will find out a little bit more about it and send it to you.
Thank you. Vicky?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Philip, for your presentation. It was impressive, and the web pages as well. But I just realized how similar our activities are. So maybe it would be great if we can arrange a meeting. Maybe the whale package, not the leader, but who who is responsible, for example, for nature-based solutions, because I'm responsible for this training session related to the nature-based solutions. So I would like to avoid duplication. So of course, so do you think is it possible to arrange this kind of meeting, or maybe is it enough if we can meet up online and we can discuss this work package related to the nature-based solution and community engagement, and after that I can work further. But what do you think? Which is the best solution?
So mainly three partners were in charge for the natural-based solution. So this is faculty from Novi Sad, also WWF Hungary, and also the third one is Geostud from Romania. Since their activities and work packages, I think, will be finished or are already finished, but they are submitting the last deliverables until the end of this month. Maybe let's say to have a meeting, if it's okay for you, after the Ocean Weeks.
Okay. And will you be there?
I will be there.
Okay,
I will be there. We can discuss about that. I'm not so sure who will be there from them, but if you need earlier, I can ask them also to organize a meeting earlier.
It's okay. During this week.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, please. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you everyone for your active participation here. It was really nice to follow this practical discussion, let's say, or solution-oriented discussion. And thank you also, Mihai, for initiating a follow-up meeting regarding, let's say, digital portals and platforms and creating really something that lasts. And it's also nice to see that this community of practice really can create a basis for such a practical oriented exchange. And also I saw that Maria mentioned in the chat that it might be also a topic for a dedicated community of practice session. So yeah, a lot of new insights and inspirations. Thank you for that, and especially to Philip for presenting the EcoDaLLi portal and first results, and also Nadia presenting the larger Mission Ocean framework, which was, I think, also interesting for our associated regions that newly joined us and that are in this call and might have not been aware of what the whole mission does. So in regarding the time, I would say we skip the interactive session that I planned to have enough time for Mihai, the coordinator of Restore for Life, because he prepared an, I'm sure, interesting presentation focusing on the Restore for Life implementation sites and also their solutions. So thank you, Mihai, for being here. And yeah, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I don't know if you see my presentation in full mode, because
Yes, we can see it
Yes, we
now
do.
in full mode. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, this was not, I mean, this is a presentation not necessarily about the associated region and things like that. It's about Restore for Life. It's actually restoring wetlands for a sustainable future. And I'm the coordinator of this project. I'm Mihai Damescu from University of Bucharest Research Center in Systems Ecology and Sustainability. And if I can move this, it would be very nice. Yes. Of course, you know this mission Lighthouses. I just wanted to say that there are 4 missions and that we are having this dealing with the Danube and Black Sea. What are the reasons for the Restore for Life? And we see the wetlands as actually life-supporting units. Because many, as you know, we had a huge landscape transformation. more than 70% of the Danube floodplain and wetlands have been converted into different other types of land covers and like, for example, farmlands in industrial zone, fish ponds and other things. We have a lot of emerging challenges, severe biodiversity loss, a lot of eutrophication that is happening not only in the Danube Delta, but also in the northwestern Black Sea. Difficulties with water quality, simplification in many cases of the food webs, a decrease in fish production in the natural habitats, diminishing water retention and flood control, and of course, putting all together a huge decline in ecosystem services delivered to the humans that are living in the near the area. All of these changes are actually driving all the entire systems towards a collapse, and I think we, as let's say, the ones who created the problems, we need to find also the solutions to address this. But this is not simple because we are dealing with huge and complex systems that have a lot of interaction. And there is a lot to be discussed, a lot to be agreed upon. And restoration is actually a very nice word, but it's very difficult to put into practice. And also how it's also a need to understand how we, what are the success stories, because there are a lot of restoration projects ongoing and that have been done during the years. And you need a tool, or you need tools in order to address the if they are successful or not, and so on. There are many things that we need to deal with. Of course, all of this is actually having an impact on human lives. And this is something that we need to stress more and more. It's not only that we are restoring biodiversity per se or wetlands, we are restoring the capacity of the wetlands to produce things for us as humans. So it's not that we are restoring biodiversity, as I said, it's about maintaining on long term the capacity of the systems to act as life supporting units. And I think this is very important to stress one more time this kind of things. Again, so in this context of complexity and many things that are interacting, what is Restore for Life addressing? So what we said in the project that we want to address the crisis in European wetlands, focusing on the Danube Basin. And we want to develop a shared vision for wetland restoration that is incorporating not only the vision of some people that are scientists, for example, but to co-create and co-develop tools that will help wetland restoration. And for that, we need not only high-level stakeholders at the EU, but also involvement of local stakeholders that will use the ecosystem services that are provided by the wetlands, for example. And for that, we need to support local businesses using the type of things that were already presented, nature-based solutions, but also integrating other type of data and make them accessible to local stakeholders. And of course, we are not, this is not something, it's not a project that is built, it's just appeared. We had a lot of other projects that are being developed or finished or are together with us in the same time. And you can see here some of the projects that are still relevant for us. So what we will deliver, if we said this is the vision, what we want to deliver. So what we want to deliver, it's not necessarily an image generated using AI, like you see in the right side, but we want to deliver a digital wetland knowledge system, then a holistic restoration vision for the Danube wetlands, the wetlands that are in the floodplain and coastal wetlands, in order to be able to provide these ecosystem services. And of course, we want to do this in an environment that is actually promoting participatory governance system that is based on mobilization and engagement of different stakeholders, private sectors, and others. So we have a few goals, not too many, because if you have too many, then it's difficult to manage. We have the development of the Restoration for Life wetland restoration, actually decision support system, empower the community, which is, I think it's one of the most important things. We don't want to do restoration against the will of the people that are living in some areas. You have to gain the minds and hearts of the people that are living there in order to do this kind of restoration. So this is what I think is needed in order to move forward with the restoration in the Danube, but also in Europe. And then to support local revenues and business activities, this is adding to the empower the communities. And of course, we want to put this in using this kind of holistic wetland restoration solution that we want to deliver to this. Many of these are, and from time to time, I'm listening to what we are saying, and they are very nice words. And then when it's time to put them into practice, then is a huge difficulties in engaging with the communities, in presenting what we have already at hand in terms of, for example, platforms that will help real implementation. So these kind of things we need to solve and to address in a good way. So why we do this? If you want to, let's say, get close to the minds and hearts of the people, you have to say what the ecosystem, what the wetlands are delivering. So they are delivering a lot of ecosystem services, and I will just mention 4 of them. Water and pollutant retention, carbon sequestration, a lot of tourism opportunities in many of the areas that we are discussing, and of course enhancement of the water-dependent habitats, enhancement and resilience of this. We have a lot of outcomes because we have only 4 objectives, but a lot of outcomes, and you can see here 7 of them. And of course, among them are, let's say, support the scaling up and biodiversity restoration and associated regions. So not only in the Danube, but also to try to scale up. And of course, increase share of local revenues and business activities from the protected and restored areas. Like any other projects, we have different work packages, and here you can see that we have 7 of them. Most of them are working very closely in order to generate what we say it's a long-lasting restoration service, which is actually the platform. And all of these work packages are actually delivering something to the work package 1, which is, like I said, the platform that will be built using the knowledge in the project, but also now that we see that others are developing this kind of platforms. I hope we will be able to integrate something that will become a long-lasting service for wetland restoration. We have 10 sites, demonstration sites, 4 implementation and 6 monitoring sites. They are distributed, like you said, in upper, middle, and lower section of the basin. From Slovakia to Romania, these are implementation sites in which we will do activities, real restoration activities, but also we will do also the monitoring part. And we have the monitoring sites in which some time ago restoration have been done, and we are now just monitoring to see how they are doing, if they are okay or not, if they are a success story or a bad story to tell. And actually, I'm looking not necessarily on the success stories, but on the bad stories, because we need to learn, and what way to learn better than from our failures. And I think this is something that we have to stress up. This restoration is not very simple to do, so it's a complex endeavor, like I said. So I want to focus only on 2 aspects. One is the need for this platform. And we took into consideration many aspects when we tried to address how we can assess the success of a wetland. And you see here, there are different parts, let's say, thematic areas, physical wetland biodiversity, ecosystem services, local livelihood systems, and also governance. And all of these are just, let's say, different themes, perspectives of wetland restoration success. And we try to focus on this, and we came up with this scheme from ecological and functional perspective, societal community, governance and policy, adaptation, adaptive management and monitoring, communication, financial, business, and climate perspective. All of them are allowing us to evaluate the success or failure of the different projects. And you can see, because we did this in a form of questionnaire, and also people submitted their projects, and we found in the Danube Basin many projects that deal with the restoration. And you can see that societal and community engagement is one part that is actually almost missing from the discussion. Yeah. So yeah, doing restoration not necessarily involving local communities, and this is actually acting as a breakup in the development of further wetland restoration in the Danube Basin. I think this is something that we need to stress as much as possible, because we did these kind of mistakes also when promoting protected areas and other things, and we need the local communities to be involved. These are the projects that were contributed, and for this you will see this nice amoeba, let's say, schematic for all of them. And based on that, we can say if a project addressed one of these perspectives or not. I have to stress, this is not necessarily a critique to the project. It's a critique to of restoration. It's a critique to how we are dealing with the problem, because, for example, nobody had idea at the beginning that we have to address the local community. For example, we were focusing only on ecological and functional perspective, and that is not a critique to the project. Yeah, it's a critique to the way we are doing this kind of things. In VP1, we also developed this roadmap for holistic wetland restoration, in which you see that building community of practice is actually the heart of the entire process. And you can see that we say that there are different steps in building this kind of holistic wetland restoration. And like I said, building a community of practice is essential. Of course, there are others, like, for example, pre-assessment, defining objectives, securing land, doing this kind of planning and so on, and communication. These are let's say, the different steps in order to do this kind of roadmap. If we are focusing on the science service for wetland restoration, which is actually the platform itself, we discussed a lot about the potential function. So what should be there in terms of long-lasting science service for wetland restoration? And we had a lot of discussions, and here you see what we have as a brainstorm. It's not brainstorming. It's not necessarily what will be in the end, because it will be, let's say, minimum viable product, let's say, in which we will take out some of these things. But we hope that in the future, with the help of others, we can build these kind of things into the platform. So from knowledge sharing, data processing, business support, capacity building, empower stakeholders and communities, building this kind of roadmaps and restoration action plans, and also managing requests in consultancy and restoration, if this is the things that we want to build. We have also a platform structure and function, which is still in development. This is the thing that we have already in the platform. It's we want to integrate different web map application services. We want to make it, the EVBs are essential variables, essential biodiversity variables, and we want to create this based on the input from people. So we want to create a platform that is available to everybody, and it's very simple to use. it could generate data not only on the use the data that it's already generated, not only for the people that wants to do this kind of restoration, but also for the communities in themselves. And we want to let people put their own data into because if we want to make a long-lasting service, it has to be useful for others. So we want to let people document their project in the platform. If they have a restoration project, we want different researchers to document their data using Zenodo and then transfer them, harvest them for the platform. We are using satellites. We are using data coming from Copernicus. We are using data coming from the stations that are in the field. So we want to integrate that also. I don't see this developed through only on the duration of the project. I see this as a living platform that will remain after the project is ending. So that's why I'm hoping that different other projects like Restore for Carbon, EcoDaLLi, Danube-Black, Danube for All will contribute to the platform. And in the end, it should not be necessarily only a platform for Restore for Life. It should be a platform for all of us and for the people who want to do this restoration. So this is what the vision should be. We have these data cubes with different type of data that will be available. And of course, we want to have these friendly interfaces with different type of data that will be available and could be available, including local level storylines and sharing the good perspectives and good projects and so on. Also, we want to have it as a dynamic platform and so on. We have this live demo. I will not enter into that, but you can enter there and you see that it's just starting. And that it's all about the platform. About empowering stakeholders, there are a lot of things happening. Even I am amazed about, because we have 31 partners, everybody is running and doing a lot of things, and sometimes I'm just looking at the things that are being done in the project, and I'm amazed about the quality and the quantity of the work that is being done. So a lot of things happening, stakeholder mapping, developing the community of practice, citizen science framework for public engagement in wetland restoration, the part with the co-development and to improve tools for water literacy and capacity building. It's another step forward. And all of this is actually developed in the form of joint toolbox. All of this we want also to be available on the platform. So all of the things, including, for example, web application and phone applications that will be providing citizen science data to the platform, will be available also through the portal. We had a lot of informative workshop dealing with students, with the stakeholders in different areas, and we invited a lot of people to attend to this kind of meetings. We are developing this part of educational and citizen science, and we have this because I said we have this. We want to reach to the hearts of the people. I know that I have only a few minutes. With emotional engagement, and I think this is something very nice done by Gabriela Costa and others, with an emotional journey through different parts of the river, and you see that we want to enhance visualization, to connect people, and to do many other things, including promoting shared values. We are developing a database of science projects together with all the others, and you can see that we already gathered a lot of projects focusing on wetlands, mapping, and other things. And we want to test the new activities in these implementation sites. Many activities are being developed, like, for example, this wetlands educational part. These are just the topics for that. Different protocols that have been developed, and we want to see how these are enhancing the learning experience in different parts, and these are dedicated to children. And of course, we are also developing this kind of constructed wetlands, a model for teaching purposes to understand why we need wetlands and to go to the future generation, to the children, and to explain them that we need wetlands for these reasons. We have applications like, for example, blue-green. This is just a game, but it will be offline and also online, so people can understand better how the things are going. These are the wetland for life application. They will be mapping wetlands, and we hope this will also feed in the platform in the end. And of course, these are the part of the tools to support decision making. Yeah, just a few words about associated region. We had a huge effort to reach more than 173 institutions from 30 eligible countries. We did this starting in 2024. We had a lot of applications, so 18 were selected, were good to go forward, and we selected 5 in the end. Here you see the linkages between the implementation sites in Romania, in the Danube Basin, sorry, and all of these selected regions. And we already paid 50,000 euros, so the first installment to this 4, and the last one will be in the future. Just to tell you, in the end, that we are a project running for 48 months with 31 organizations, and of course, we are aiming to improve the ecosystem state and enhancing the delivery of ecosystem services from restored wetlands. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mihai. I have to say this was a really impressive and insightful presentation. So thank you really for that. And it's also nice to see some similarities between our projects, like, for example, also following this holistic approach, but also clearly seeing some differences. So I would open the floor for questions. I think I already saw a hand, but it disappeared. So please raise your hand if you have questions for Mihai. Raluca, please.
Hi, hello, and Mihai, congratulations for all the hard work that you've performed. I see that it's a lot of work going on for Restore for Life, so congratulations. And I wanted to ask him about if he could share some of the main challenges that the project faced so far in the development. Thank you.
Yeah, nice question. So first of all, this is the work of, you saw how many partners, and I'm just enjoying presenting some of the things that they have done. I think difficulties are in any projects in which I was involved, and I will be, and I am involved, there are many difficulties. Engaging stakeholders is one very big problem. We want to engage stakeholders. We are going towards them, but it's a very hard job, and it's a long-lasting job. We have benefiting for the fact that we already we have been involved in the communities, in the parts of the projects in which we are involved. We have been involved with that communities for many, many years. Many communities, they expect results. So using these kind of projects, you can try to deliver something to them, but it's not enough to think only on the duration of the project. So you have to have big dreams and keep a track of projects that they are involved in. Otherwise, if you have a project that it's only 48 months, it's very difficult to deliver to them results. And I am very keen on trying to promote the platform that will integrate tools that will help stakeholders. If we are doing this, we are delivering something to them, something that is useful. So You cannot develop the platform without the stakeholders, but the platform should be also for them and to stay there for their use. And 48 months, it's just we are, let's say, finding our ways. That's why we had projects. We will have projects together with them. And also we report to them. So we are not going, I need you to be involved in this activity, and then we are not showing again. So we want to report to them, okay, we did that. What do you think? Do you think that you will need the data that is in the platform, the solutions that we are promoting, the business plans, for example, because people are interested in business plans. They want to see what is going up in this. So the stakeholders is one of the most important parts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much also for your honesty. I agree that it's also very useful to not only exchange on best practices, but also on what didn't work and learn together from it. And I think you are right. Sometimes we are also engaged in our project work that we forget about the bigger picture we want to achieve. So thank you for reminding us of it. And we also have a question from Maria. Please.
Yes, thank you, Miriam. Hi, good morning. Thank you, Mihai, for the great presentation. It was very inspiring and helpful. My question, it's also maybe somehow related with the Haluk question, but maybe more specific. It's about the process of monitoring and keep track on the project activities, several tasks and so on. So how Restore for Life is keeping the track on the results, and how this information that I believe it will be important for the roadmaps that you will develop by the end of the project.
Okay, I don't know if I understood correctly the question. So the first one was about monitoring what we are doing in the project.
Yes, so the approaches that you are using to effectively monitor the main activities of the project. So, and the several contexts, for example, not only the ecological, but also the socio-economic.
Okay, because there are two things. One is how we are managing the project, and for that we are using Teams and other things, practical meetings, a lot of meetings. And for managing what you said in terms of data that is coming from different projects and how we are doing that, for that we are developing the platform. And the idea is to make the platform available to anybody. So we collected using these 31 partners, we collected as many projects as we could, restoration projects, and we analyzed them using the 7 perspectives that we had. I mean, the governance, the whatever, the stakeholder involvement and so on. And we try to make a map for each of the projects, trying to understand if they touched or not each of these dimensions. And based on that, we came up with the idea that, okay, the stakeholders are not involved. This part with the monitoring, long-term monitoring of, let's say, ecological things is not also monitored over the long term. So we actually don't know if the restoration is a success or not, because no data is available from this kind of you have a project in which you do restoration, and then the project is not, I mean, the site is not longer monitored for long term. So you don't know if your actions, the restoration actions, were successful in long term, or in few years the wetlands is no longer there because there are changes. You know, the wetlands are among the most dynamic systems. They're changing all the time, and and you have to either to be able to keep them in a good condition, or create conditions to keep the wetlands in a good condition. So, yeah. success story. I think it's one of the biggest among the stakeholder involvement. Monitoring this in long term, I think it's a big challenge as well. So to see if they are successful or failures. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have one more question by Vlad.
Hi, Mihai. Hello, everybody. First of all, congratulations, Mihai. It was a very full of content and interesting presentation about what the Restore for Life is doing. I think just a suggestion in this case, asking, taking somehow in consideration the question of Maria. I think that, yeah, formally, if you are following the KPIs of the project and somehow you are ticking them during the project life, it should be somehow a successful path. Now we're somehow encountering the same challenges, or part of them for sure, in Dao at Rest, and I think that this could be a good path. I don't know if you agree or if you can suggest something different of the achievement and somehow the successful impact of the project.
Well, we have no delays in delivering anything. To the commission, we are next week we will have our review meeting with the reviewers and with the commission. We are prepared for that. No delays, no changes up to now. I think we are in a good position to say that the project is in a good shape. Let's hope for the best in the next years. We are preparing for rough times, unfortunately, but nevertheless we are prepared. So let's see what is going to happen. We have a lot of we will have a lot of difficulties in implementation phase. We already started the implementation in different sites, and I think that it will also be a lesson. Different lessons for us as a project. And we will share them as honest as we can, because I think it's something that everybody should learn. Discussions, obtaining permits, discussion with the communities, developing business plans for a long-term success of the restoration and things like that. I think they are good lessons to be spread. And if we are failing, which could be the case, I don't know, I hope not. We are doing whatever is necessary to ensure the long-term success of our restoration activity. So, yeah, because actually I think that lighthouses are just laboratories of learning. In this way, we are just showing them that it's possible. We are drafting the roadmaps towards good restoration. We are developing the tools. And that's why we have so many projects dealing also with the same kind of things, because I think it's not good to have all the things in one single basket. It's good to have it in spread and among us as a community. Yeah, and it's good. I think we are going from Restore for Life, at least we are going in the right direction. And it's not the coordination. It's not me, but the team that it's behind, and it's working hard, and all of the people that are working hard. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, transparency and lesson learned in this case are valuable elements to be taken in consideration. So congrats, best of luck for the review, and keep in touch for the next steps of our projects.
Thank you very much. Also good luck from me for your review. Thank you to all participants, because we have reached the end of this community of practice session. For me, it was really insightful. I also liked your quote in the end, Mihai, lighthouses are laboratories of learning. I think, that's a good point of view. And within our different projects, we are all learning. And I think we should exchange of what worked, what didn't work, and then learn from it and do better in the next step. So for me, as a summary, I'm taking away two two main things. First, the need for focused exchange also between similar projects, for example, on portals, but could also be on other topics to avoid overlaps and to really guarantee the sustainability of what we are doing. And the second thing, no restoration against the will of locals, as you put it, Mihai. We have to include the local communities, and I sometimes have the feeling that community engagement is used as a buzzword, but yeah, we really have to also work on it. We really have to put more efforts in reaching the local communities, the people, maybe also sometimes use easier language that is not so academic to include everyone. So yeah. Just to mention the next steps, you will definitely hear from me via email. I will share the presentations of today's experts with you. And you will also hear from me via email regarding our next session. It's planned for the 11th of April, so in 2 months. And yeah. Do not hesitate to come back to me via email anytime in case of questions, in case you have input for our community of practice. And yeah, that would be it for today. Thank you again to our experts, to Nadia, Philip, Mihai, for sharing your insights and results. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you too, Miriam.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.